Hello again. One of the things which I find very puzzling is that the British people are frequently told that immigration is necessary for both the economic and social health of their country. After all, the population of Britain is ageing. It's necessary to import young people who can work and keep everything ticking over nicely. Those who question this narrative are of course dismissed as racists, xenophobes and very likely right-wingers. I'm not an economist, I'm not any sort of expert on anything like ageing populations or the need for young workers or anything else, but I can't help but wonder why a country like Russia, which has twice as many people in it as Britain, has just 50,000 black people living there. Why don't they find it necessary to import loads of Indians, Pakistanis, Africans and Caribbeans to keep their economy healthy? Genuinely, I don't get it. What have the Russians got that we haven't, that they are able to run their country efficiently without mass immigration? The same applies to Japan, where almost 98% of the population are of Japanese origin, and those who are not are generally foreign residents rather than Japanese citizens. The Japanese are, as a nation, very far from being a pack of fools, of course. If they don't feel the need to invite millions of people from all over the world to come and live in their country, it might be worth asking why. Why should it be that they feel like that? One thing, of course, which both the Russians and Japanese have, which is lacking in Britain, is national pride. The Japanese have an identity which is bound up with both their nation and their ethnicity. They don't want to see their own ethnicity diluted and are prepared to find ways to avoid this by working out what to do about an ageing population without allowing unrestricted immigration into their country. The Russians too are proud of their country and their identity. These nations are intensely and unashamedly patriotic. Only a few years ago, and well, I say only a few years ago, I'm thinking of the 1950s and 1960s, the British too were very proud of their country and cherished their identity. Patriotism was seen as an admirable thing, and people stood up when the national anthem was played in public places like cinemas. Imagine that happening today. There is something a little embarrassing about the very idea of patriotism these days, and it has become associated in the minds of many young people with racism. Ideally, we should not prefer any one nation or ethnicity to another. That's the modern way. After all, we're all citizens of the world. Who is to say that the English way of doing things is any better than the way people conduct themselves in the Congo or Papua New Guinea? This is hardly a sentiment which the citizens of Moscow or Tokyo would embrace, and explains why those cities are recognisably Russian or Japanese, while London is no longer noticeably a British city. Both Russia and Japan see an ethnically homogeneous state as a strength, whereas in Britain we have been conditioned to see it as a weakness. I intend to make a separate video about the awful way that patriotism and national pride have diminished in Britain, but for now I was wondering if any viewers can think of an advantage of not having an ethnically homogeneous country. We are told that diversity is our strength, but why is it a strength rather than a weakness? These are genuine questions, and I'm quite prepared to be proved wrong about this, but it seems to me that both Russia and Japan have a more healthy approach to this subject than do the British.